Hi, my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel, All of My Plants. Today I have some plant chores. I think I'm going to be potting up some propagations. But anyway, this is day one of Vlogmas already somehow. Like, time is flying. Okay, so I'm planning on doing a trade, which I guess I still am. I don't know. I haven't talked to her since, I think, the week before Thanksgiving. And life has just been hectic, so I guess I need to message her and still see if she wants to do a trade. But anyway, she wanted this philodendron majestic. So it's a little cutting in there with, who's that? Amedrium medium silver. So the majestic looks pretty well rooted, like good enough to get into a starter pot. I don't really see a whole lot happening with the Amedrium, but she didn't want that one anyway, so that one doesn't particularly matter. And then I've got these Syngonium Three Kings. I'm going to try to get some potted up. Some are for me. I think she might want one too. I don't know. The Monstera Adansonii Indonesian Mint, I believe is what this one is. And I know I have more cuttings somewhere. And then in this little dangly guy, I've got Monstera aurea. Very low variegation on that one. Nope, nobody wanted it. I just cut it because it was sticking off of a chunk and it looked odd. So I cut it closer to the actual plant to you know, root there. And then some, it looks like mostly green Syndapsis aurea variegated. Well, that one wasn't even in the water, so I understand why that one didn't have roots. Some of them might be ready to pot up, I don't know, but I'm gonna check them out while I'm here. Where can I dangle this so it's not bouncing off my head? How about back here? You hang out back here? I'm trying to think, do I have anything else that I wanted to pot up? We'll start with those. We'll start with those. Let me find some small-ish pots. I got some here, let's see. Got a little bitty one. And then I've got a couple of two nursery pots. I might have some more somewhere. I'm sure I do. I just washed a bunch of pots. There's a whole other tote full already for me to wash. Oh look, there's one right here. How convenient, a third nursery pot. Okay, I'm gonna get my soil, and I guess we're gonna start potting these up. I'll bring you closer so you can see what's going on here. Okay, so I suppose you can see what's going on a little bit better. Wow, it's really dark over here. I feel like I had a light there before, but I didn't. I've rearranged it in here. It's like a compulsion. I obsessively just rearrange all the time, non-stop. And as soon as I think I'm done, I'm not. I'm gonna rearrange again. All right, I guess, I don't know which one I want to do first. I guess we'll do hers first, which it's got little tiny roots, but I'm putting it in a little tiny pot, and I think it will appreciate that. I'm surprised that the growth point didn't die off. It's actually growing that leaf. Can you see it in there? It's trying to unfurl. So yeah, I'm just checking for like spider mites or any sign of pesty damage. I won't say it's got pristine leaves on it because it was, this whole plant was out in the greenhouse this year. And I don't know, stuff happens outside. I guess that's gonna do pretty good. But I will go ahead and clean it up and pest treat it before I ship any of these off to her. I'm not actually shipping them, but you know what I mean. Before they go to her, I will make sure they don't have any cooties. I don't know how well this is going to stand on its own just now, but I think it'll take a few days before it really does. It might have to be a leaner and hang out leaning on something or someone for a while. I really need to message her. Just the holidays, the havoc of the holidays, before the holidays. Like, my house is a construction zone. I think I've mentioned that, or part of it has. We actually had Thanksgiving, we hosted, in the middle of a construction zone, in the middle of that room, actually, that we're working on. So it's just been a lot trying to get that ready, and, you know, life. Life stuff. So, I don't know, that's cute. And I put it in a clear pot because, I don't know, I like to spy on the roots. And I don't think it really inhibits root growth too much. I find that if I'm worried about, if I don't think the roots are growing well in a clear pot, I just put it in a cover pot. I just put it in a cover pot. That way I can still spy on the roots. Alright, I think the only other thing of these, oh yeah, she did say a piece of this would be alright. So they have some roots. I guess you can kind of see them there. I've got 2 single node cuttings and a very enthusiastically rooting top cut. I'm trying to see if any one of them seems to have better variegation than the other. One of these does. Like most of them, the top cut's got something that looks suspiciously like thrips damage. I was going to say one of these does have like a little bit more variation in the variegation. I think it's this one. That's a nice one. If I can, untangle it. Oh, but it doesn't have as much root. I think it'll be okay though. I find that as long as they are growing root, that's good, right? Can you see the leaf there? I don't know how the lighting is. Every time I get used to the lighting, I start moving it. It's almost like silvery on this one. That's pretty. So it has like this silvery color plus the green on green. And I don't actually see that on the other ones. Of course, that's no guarantee that the next leaf that comes will have that kind of thing going on there, but I don't know. I'll try this one, because I think it's pretty. Do I see a growth point, though? It's really hard to see down in there, because it's actually on the same side that the previous leaf came from. And I don't want to rip the previous leaf off yet. I can see the growth point on this one. Maybe I should give her this one. I'll do that, because I don't trust not being able to see a growth point. I mean, I know it's not a zombie node, but it also might just take forever. And I don't have a massive amount of patience. I don't know what is up with them birds. They're losing it downstairs. I know my noise canceling doesn't get it all, but I know you probably can't hear it quite as well as I can. I'll put it that way. I don't know why, but they're freaking out. I think this is going to need a little bit of support too, yeah. When all else fails, use a skewer. But let's be honest, even the skewer might need some support. There's big pieces of bark in there. I like it chunky though. Alright. So anyway, is everybody ready for Christmas? Or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or I don't know the other holidays people celebrate. Yule. The winter festivities. I'm just getting a piece of Velcro over here on this shelf. I'm not. I'm not. We have told our young people, they're all adults, they're all out on their own this year. I'm just not doing the amount of shopping that I usually do. I'm mostly ordering things online. But, so there's that one. It's cute. It will do. Alright, that's gonna go there. And then, geez, I guess I should pot this up now that I've snatched it out of the beaker. Thank you, I couldn't remember the word last time. Out of the beaker. I can't really get it back down in there, so I guess I'll stick these in some soil. We'll see how they go. I can't believe that I only cut these 2 weeks ago? Maybe 3. No, it was like the 11th. I don't know. It was like the 11th of November when I cut them. Today is the 1st of December. So, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to face this one this way so the other one can support it. I'm surprised how quickly these have rooted. I'm pleasantly surprised, but just I wasn't expecting to have quite so much root so quickly. And like I said on the one there that I potted, it actually has a pretty good growth point on the way already. Better than this other one that I'm putting in here with the top cut. So the plant that I cut from, it hasn't really, I don't see a new growth point on that yet. Nor on the Majestic, the parent plant. This was the whole top cut. And I don't see any new leaves or growth points activating anywhere. So I'm not mad about it, but I really did expect to see something by now, especially on the part that had the roots already. That's alright. I tried to turn this so that it would lean on the parent plant. There we go. Or on the parent plant on the top cut. I guess that's good enough. It'll be fine. Okay, so that one's done. I guess now we're going to do some Syngonium Three Kings, which some of the older leaves did die off when I chopped it. I just chopped the whole plant up. And not into individual nodes or anything, but into like sections. I just think the roots on the original plant, I think the roots were compromised. It came out of, I'm sorry, pawn. I'm not going to put it back in pawn though, I don't think. I'm going to get water everywhere. Would it really be me if I didn't make a mess? It's fine. It's fine. I think these were actually cut right after I cut everything else, and the roots on these are generally more enthusiastic. That's Syngonium for you. Especially like Syngonium podophyllum types. Like, you know, Albo, Three Kings, Tricolor. Those seem to be very enthusiastic rooters. So I'm going to do that. Ooh, here's a nice big one. It actually looks like it's two that I left together, like two places where it had branched off. Nope, this is three places where it had branched off that I left together. That's a fair amount of plant by not a whole lot of root. I don't know. I want something that looks like it's going to grow successfully and not have to worry about whether or not it's going to struggle. Preferably something that won't struggle. That's what I'm looking for. Because I'm trying to pot hers up, so I want to give her something that looks good and healthy. This one's got a new leaf on the way. Decent roots. I mean, small roots, but also small plant. So I think I'll do that one. I think that could root more, I really do. Maybe I should separate it out to root more that way. That might be helpful for that. So like I said, it was like 3 offshoots, all depending on the one root system for the most part. I don't know. This one has pretty decent looking roots. Roots! I don't like the way the plant looks on that one though. It just doesn't look as vibrant. That one looks pretty good. I don't know, they both look pretty good. I'll do this one. Alright, so I'm going to give her these two. These two, because they're cute. I don't know, I guess they're visible, maybe. Yeah. And I expect these will root and need repotted, you know, within a week. I don't know, I'm surprised by how quickly some things are growing, considering it's winter. Like things that I just repotted that do, in fact, need to be repotted, or would appreciate it. I guess nothing really ever needs to be. if you want to keep watering and fertilizing like crazy. But I mean, for the sake of making my life easier, there are several things that could be repotted already, including the alocasia fried egg. It's maybe been 2 months since I repotted it. There's a couple roots in the reservoir already. That and it's drying so quickly. I say fried egg, I'm talking about the non-variegated one, so I guess Mycolitziana, that one. Alright, so there's that. Alright, and I've used all my pots already. Let me see, I'm gonna leave these to root longer. This here has some rootage happening, but I think it could do more. I think you could do more back in there. This one here really has just the tiniest, tiniest one little root. Sorry, it's an old petiole that's like turned to mush. Can you see the one little root sticking up there? Yeah, I don't know. It's not very impressive. Ew, I just rubbed that root all over my pants. I didn't realize it was still stuck to my hand and I was like wiping my leg. Okay. This can go in here. Yeah, this is the Amedrium medium. And it was like, it really was trying to grab the pole. But as far as trying to root out, it is doing so very, very slowly. It's got one little fresh white root there by my thumb. Well, maybe two. There's a little bit of root movement there. So hard to lean that far and not fall. Okay. So, I don't know. That's going back in there for a while. I can see where like 1, maybe 2 new growth points are trying to make a move. Maybe even 3. No, 2. But, yeah, I need some roots. I'm gonna be needing roots. Put that back in there. I was trying to figure out where to put it. And then this one has okay enough roots. It's definitely leaning in a weird way. This, the last of the 3 kings. The 3rd king. I need something to put it in. Let's see if I can't find something real quick. Oh, I have right here. This seems mighty big. They seem mighty big. Oh, gosh, I'm sitting here wondering maybe if I just jam them all in a pot, they'll root. Well, except for the little bitty thing that didn't have any roots. Alright. I'm gonna do that. Oop. I'm gonna do that. I might regret it. I don't think so. Syngonium, I really don't have much problem getting them to root, like I said. I think they'll catch up to the size of the pot just fine, and where it'll be several sharing. Maybe I'll just do a couple. Because which one was it that didn't have a whole lot of roots that I broke off? It was that one. Okay, so you can go back in there. Don't worry, I'll rinse the dirt off. That one doesn't have over much. Alright, I guess I'll stick these 3 in a pot. They're sharing a pot that won't be as much like I'm burying them with no root. Does that make sense? There's a lot of resources. If they share resources, maybe they'll use them more efficiently. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Does anybody else do that? Like you have a pot that you know is just a little bit big, so you just put multiples in it to compensate. This is barky. I don't know where I keep getting this bark or why I keep doing it. I always complain about it, but I always go back and buy the same bark. It's huge. I think it's an orchid bark, like better grow orchid bark, I believe. And I like that it includes the perlite and charcoal in there, like the large coarse perlite and horticultural charcoal in there, but the bark, some of it is like extra big, extra chunky. Like, I mean, I don't know where I'm holding that to. I'm sorry. I'm like to the ceiling, to the windows, to the wall. It's huge. Some of it is really big. I've said before, it's mulch, and I'm not kidding. It's I could put it in my garden flower bed outside. My garden or my flower bed, or both would be appropriate. All right. Okay. Actually, that settled quite a bit. I thought I was done. It's probably the bark keeping it from getting down in there. All right. I'm gonna go with that. All right, let me clear some of this away. Sorry, I probably just hit the mic, and then we'll check on these, those, those, them, those, theys. Okay, I gave those guys a sippy sip and a spritz with my favorite plant perfume. I sprayed them with Captain Jack's, just preventative, and I guess it'll help to rinse them because I sprayed them till the point of saturation. Front, back, top to bottom. I may have even given the pot a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything. But yeah, just preventative maintenance, and like I'll check them over whenever I get in touch with her. Oh, I'm overheating. Okay, so I'll be back once I get more pots together for the next go round. Phew, okay, I didn't think it was that hot, but I guess it's 24.1 Celsius, which is 75.4 Fahrenheit. That's warm-ish, I guess, but I didn't expect the camera to overheat there. I don't know where to put my hygrometer / thermometer. I'll put it down here. But yeah, I guess that's warm enough. Okay, I've got this one here. This is, I think, the Syndapsis, yeah. Syndapsis variegated. And there's a note in here. I wonder if that's Syndapsis too. I don't know what it is. I can't tell. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see the point there kind of over top of the leaf from the node. So yeah, I don't know what that is. I've got a habit of sticking random things in together, and then I don't know what they are. I've got another mystery node down here. I'll show it to you in a minute, and we'll see if we can't figure out what it is together, because I have no idea. Alright. And these are also variegated Syndapsis, or they're supposed to be. I had one vine that was mostly not looking so variegated. Yeah, some of these have roots. There's more variegation on the back of that leaf. I think I said that when I chopped it too. You've got a root. What is this? This is 2 different cuttings. This one has a root. I guess this was the top cutting. I see 0 variegation on that though. Did I say variegated Syndapsis jade? This one does not have any root growth. So back in there you go. How about you? Then this was the Monstera aurea with low variegation, which has some new root. Like I said, I just made that chunk smaller. It was rooted from elsewhere further down the chunk. So I freed it. Okay, I'm gonna hang this back up. I guess I need to give it some more water too. That's probably why that node isn't rooted, because it didn't have any water touching it. Sorry, my chain was tangled. Alright. Okay, I don't know, hold on. Yeah. I'm gonna do the Monstera in this one here. Pretty sure. It doesn't have much root, but I'm guaranteeing you it'll root really fast. Should I go smaller? Do I have one a little smaller? It's either a lot smaller, a lot smaller, or a lot bigger. Okay. I guess that is the one I'm going with. I have 10 bajillion pots, but I never seem to have the size that I want. Ever. And I'm always washing pots. I say I let them like build up, but that just means that I'll empty a pot and I don't wash it right then. I will wash it generally within a week or so. They usually don't sit too terribly long. Sometimes they'll sit for quite a while. But somehow I never have the size of pot that I want. Never. I don't know how that's a thing, but that's a thing. And I've got all different sizes, but they're either in use or dirty, I guess, when I need them. I seem to have a lot more of certain sizes. Like, I always seem to need 6-inch, but I never have 6-inch. You know, I have 8 or 4, but never 6. Alright, so that's that one. I didn't even really show it to you. Very low variegation. You can see some kind of up to the lobe there, near the sinus area, the petiole area. Maybe a little bit in the middle, and then the older leaf just has a little bloop of it down the center. I don't know, that could be the most beautiful plant ever in 10 years. Or in a couple years, who knows. I don't even know. I'm looking for variegation on the stem. And I do see some on that one. I don't see any on this one. Or this one. Okay. And this is the only leaf showing variegation. You know what, I'll pot the two that I'm not so sure about together. In, I guess this, since I'm doing multiples. And the top cutting does have a little bit more root, so maybe it'll be right in there. I'm sure it'll be fine. I say that all the time, and you know what? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not fine. And, I mean, most of the time it is. A lot of the times it is. Like, I say all the time that I'm going to do something that doesn't really make sense. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I don't know. I think generally it's okay with me anyway, because if it's, honestly, if it's not fine and something's going terribly wrong, then I will intervene and try to fix my mistake. So it's still fine, technically. I don't know. Maybe I'm not making any sense at all. That wouldn't surprise me. So I've planted the one that had roots coming from multiple nodes, the top cut kind of sideways, just so that root comes in contact, or those roots come in contact with soil. So I'm going to set that aside. I'll write reverted on the tag for that one. And then this is the tiniest little cup. How much y'all want to bet that I overly dry it? Especially with all this bark in here. Take some of the bigger pieces out. But I'm going to put it in there. And we'll see how it goes. Why I'm potting them separate, even though they're variegated, is kind of because I would like a plant where most leaves are variegated instead of the majority of them not being. Instead of, like, that's why I'm not potting them all together, regardless of whether they're variegated or not, even though they came from the same plant. Does that make any sense? So, there's that guy. Looking silly, but he's cute. Very low variegation. Like I said, there's actually like more variegation on the back of that leaf. I don't know if you can see it there, but go figure. Alright, so that one's done. And then, have you done some rooting? Oh yes, you have done some rooting. This one here has been living in moss, which is actually much drier than I thought. And it's got some variegation. I'm going to pot this up in a little teeny pot with its little bitty root. I think we can go a little bit bigger than that now. Give it some room to grow. Alright. That node, I don't know what that is, so it's just going to hang out until it pops a leaf, and maybe then I'll figure out what it is. Perhaps. Which way's up? Make sure I'm putting the growth point in the right direction. It'll find its way either way. Or at least that's been my experience. Particularly if they don't have that far to go. They will find their way up. It's just what plants do. Or we'd have plants just growing underground all the time. Yeah, I don't know what the node in there is. Are you rooted? It's not Syndapsis. You know what I think it is? I think it's more of that Amedrium medium. Just because of the way the stem looks, I've clearly recently put it in there. Amedrium medium silver. I don't know if you can see that there's like little bitty roots trying on the stem there. It looks very similar to what the other cutting in there, over there, wherever I put it. I don't know what I've done with it. The top cutting, it looks very similar along the stem as that did. Okay, so I guess we'll just tuck you back in there. I gotta remember to moisten that moss. I don't know, there's lots of condensation on the lid, so maybe it's fine. Oh, now it's the battery. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've cleared away my mess, and I've got my two, anyway, of the prop boxes right here. Have no idea what's in them, but we're gonna open them up and look and see what's going on in there, because I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've looked. I figure POV might be the easiest way to do this. Okay, some sort of syngonium? I'm gonna guess that that's what, it's gotta be, like the tricolor, right? Pink spot tricolor, red spot tricolor, whatever they call it. I'm guessing that that's what that one is. I know that that one there is Monstera standeliana, variegated. I think that this is going to be Camposportuanum, Philodendron Camposportuanum. I'm assuming, because of the little heart-shaped leaves and they're fuzzy. Just because it's either that or Micans, and that's definitely not Micans. Those are the only, like, velvety philodendrons I've got that would have a leaf kind of like that. That's cute. What do we think that is? Oh, gosh. It's not Peru. This is a thin leaf. This might be Rhaphidophora decursiva. Oh, or it could be Monstera subpinnata. I think that might be Monstera subpinnata, which would have been in here for at least 2 years. But it just recently started growing. I started giving it much brighter light. So I think that's why some of this stuff has been in here so long. I mean, so long. Like the Campo has been in there at least a year. That has been in there at least a year. This has been more recent. I think that's Melanochrysum down there from the first time I chopped it. So it's been in there probably almost a year. But this, I don't know what this is. Any guesses? It has a velvety leaf. Let's see if we can focus on it. That would be superb. There we go. It does have a kind of velvety leaf, but I really don't know what that is. I'm looking for color on the leaf back. No, I see no color. Velvety leaf, long leaf, probably a philodendron of some sort. Geez, any ideas, anybody? I got no clue. I can see where the leaf, this one here was darker, very dark, but I don't know. Got no clue. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on that one. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably going to clear out the terrarium. Oh, or I have a jar. I have that terrarium jar that's empty. These are probably all going to end up planted in there. And we'll see what happens. Only the strong survive. We'll see what happens, because I really don't know what most of this is. I really don't know. I can see some micans down there with the tiniest, little bittiest leaves. Not very impressive at all. But I'm pretty sure that's what that is there on that little teeny stem. Those two little bitty leaves together are micans. I don't know. Okay, let's see what's in the other one. Alright, I know what this is because I recently put this one in here. This prop box hasn't been going quite as long as the other one. So this is Epipremnum skeleton key. That's what that's going to be. That there, looking very light in color, but nevertheless it looks pretty healthy, just pale in color. That is Philodendron Splendid. Look at the little teeny ridiculous first leaf that it put out. Some Pink Princess Marble down there. There's some more over here. This growth point you see sticking up, that is, this one, sorry, is also Philodendron Splendid. And then the other nodes, this here is more of that, the variegated Syndapsis that we just potted up. That's just a node that I just recently threw in there, maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And a lot of this here that you see kind of around, that is more of the Epipremnum skeleton key. So that looks like what's in here is the Marble Pink Princess, Epipremnum skeleton key, and Splendid. I'm not doing over much yet. I'll probably take this one particular Epipremnum skeleton key out. That's the second leaf on this vine there. So I probably will take that one out and pot that up at some point in the very near future, or so I say. Well, there's one down there with a leaf too. I don't know. Mostly I'm just going to wait longer. So that was it for the planty portion of Vlogmas Day 1. The next portion is just my Christmas trees. I'm just going to show you my Christmas trees. I have 2 of them. My house is a mess, so don't judge me, or do, it's fine. I just had a lot of company here. And they judge me harshly too, because they're my children.
Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Not only green, but summer's here, but also winter's cold and drear. Oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh Christmas tree, much pleasure thou canst give me. Oh Christmas tree, much pleasure thou canst give me. How often has the Christmas tree afforded me the greatest glee? Oh Christmas tree, much pleasure thou canst give me. Oh Christmas tree, thy candle shine.
So that was it. So that was Vlogmas Day 1 in the bag. What'd you think of that tree? That little cat I have, the one-eyed cat, the big tree, the wide tree, I guess. My little one-eyed kitty, Lenore, climbs it daily. I'm gonna say it's a 7.5 foot tree. She climbs about 5 foot of it and then sits there. And as I walk by, she's reaching out, swatting at me. Every single one of those ornaments is twisty tied on. Every single one of them. I actually used this plant wire, which I think I've said before. I've never used it. I don't use it, but it comes with the moss poles, the particular type of moss poles I buy. I've never used it for anything, I don't think, in my life. But I used a whole roll of it. I still have 3 more. I used the whole roll of it to twisty tie everything onto that tree. Because otherwise I'd never keep them on there with that cat. Anyway, and I wish I had gotten a bigger, like a much wider ribbon for that tree. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to go food myself because it's about lunchtime. Yeah, it's lunchtime. I'm going to go food myself, and then I'm going to go work in the construction zone for a little while. Maybe see if we can't get some more drywall on the ceiling. I don't know. But thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and check me out again soon. Bye.